Hi everyone, this will be our video for adding and subtracting polynomials. You want to make sure that you're pretty decently good at combining like terms because that's pretty much the main idea here. So here you can see I have two examples for addition. One's already completed. When we're talking about addition and adding polynomials, really the concept is to make sure that the signs are appropriate. So this is an addition sign, so it's not really going to change any of these signs. And then as you can see, I've grouped my like terms. So I've kind of just started with my highest degrees and I just rewrote my terms just in order so that it's easier to visualize. Once you do that, you can see that you have 5n cubed plus 2n cubed. So when you have the same base to the same exponent, so n cubed, and you're just going to add your coefficients. So 5 plus 2 gives me 7n cubed. Same thing over here, I have 4 plus 2, I can combine them and get 6. So you really want to make sure that when you are combining like terms, they have the same base to the same exponent. So we're just going to write a little side note. All right, here we go. So side note, to combine like terms, they must have the same variable raised to the same power. Okay, so how we had n cubed and n cubed, we can combine them. So let's do the second example together. When you see that you have multiple terms, don't freak out. It's just a couple more groups that we need to get together. So what I usually do first is just to rewrite it, maybe distribute if I had a minus sign, which we don't, and you'll see that in the next examples. So here we go, that's my first polynomial, and then I'm going to be adding my second polynomial. So it's really going to be a minus 3k to the fourth minus 14k squared, and then minus 8. Okay, and that's because this is like a plus 1 in the front, and if we were to distribute, it's not changing the signs of anything. So now we can rewrite, starting with our highest degrees, working down to constant terms. So we have negative 4k to the fourth, and then I have a minus 3k to the fourth. One thing that I usually do as I'm working, once I rewrite a term, I kind of like cross it out just so that I know that I've already rewritten it, so I don't make any mistakes or forget any terms or maybe write a term twice by accident. So we're going to keep going. So then I have a plus 3k squared and then minus 14k squared. So now I've used both of them. We can cross them out. And then we just keep going down. Then if you had any k terms, which we don't, then we have some constant terms. So we have a plus 14 and then a minus 8. So what I've done from these steps to the next one, from the first to the second step, is to rewrite in standard form. Okay, meaning starting from the highest degree down. So now we can combine like terms. We have negative 4k to the fourth minus 3k to the fourth. So that's going to be a negative 7k to the fourth. Then we have a plus 3k squared minus 14k squared. So it's going to be a minus 11k squared. And then we have a plus 14 minus 8. So that's going to give us a plus 6. Put a box around it, and that is your final answer. So if you want to make a note to yourself, to get to our final step, we combine all like terms. Awesome. All right, let's move on to subtraction. So you can see here, we already have one done for us. Now with subtraction, I do always recommend writing the second step out. The issue is that when you are working with subtraction, you want to make sure that this minus sign, which is really like a negative 1 in front of this group, gets distributed to all of the terms on the inside, however many you have. When I do that, you can see that it's going to change both of these signs. So just think like whatever we started with a positive 3x and a negative 3x to the fourth. Now we have the opposite. We have a negative 3x plus 3x to the fourth. We distribute the negative sign. Now we can rearrange, so just like how we did with the last ones. So here, this step here is to distribute negative. This step here we rewrote in standard form. And then to get to our last step, we combine all like terms. Okay, so that's our process. And you can see that it's pretty much the exact same as the last one. The only thing that's really majorly different is that you have a minus sign here and you need to make sure it gets distributed. So let's do this last example together before we close out. So I'm going to rewrite. So I have 3 minus 6n to the 5th minus 8n to the 4th. And then I'm going to distribute my minus sign. So when I'm working on this, it's going to be changing all of the signs of all of the terms on the inside. So this is going to become a plus 6n to the 4th, plus 3n, and then plus 8n to the 5th. So that was me distributing my negative. Now we can rewrite. So when I rewrite it, just take your time. Just go left to right. So I have negative 6n to the 5th. That's my highest degree that I see. And I also have a plus 8n to the 5th. We can cross them out. Once you write them, you don't want to write them a second time. It is going to change the answer there. Now we can go down to our next exponent, which would be 4. So we have minus 8n to the 4th plus 6n to the 4th. Okay, now they're done. Now you would see if you have any cubes or any squares, and we don't. Our next term that we could write down is any n to the 1st, so we would have 3n to the 1st. We use it, cross it out. And then we have a plus 3. Okay, so this was our rewriting in standard form. Now we have our final step, which is combining all like terms. So remember, they need to have the same variable to the same exponent. So we have negative 6n to the 5th plus 8n to the 5th. So negative 6 plus 8 is going to give me 2n to the 5th. Then we have minus 8n to the 4th plus 6n to the 4th. So minus 8 plus 6, that's going to be a minus 2n to the 4th. And then now as you look through the rest of your terms, I don't have anything to combine with the 3n, and I don't have anything to combine with the 3. And that doesn't mean that we combine them to each other. That means that that's what it is, okay? There's nothing to simplify them with. So we do plus 3n minus 3. So this is now our final answer. It's in standard form, which means highest degree to least degree, and it's simplified as possible.